There's an old saying that you can't have too much of a good thing, especially when it comes to like Kinder Buenos, video games, and more pressingly for this channel, motorcycles. The only issue with motorcycling is it can be a pretty bloody expensive hobby, and especially at this time of the year when nobody has any cash whatsoever. So, in that vein of being flat bloody broke, I've set myself a little challenge for today. I've given myself a budget of £1,700 to trawl the depths of the internet. By that I of course mean Facebook Marketplace and Gumtree, to see if there are indeed any bargains that can be found, proving that you don't have to pay over the odds to get into this wonderful hobby that we all enjoy so much. So are we going to find any gems, or are we going to get shafted by some fella trying to flog us an SV650 that he's had for 20 years that just needs a carb clean and it'll be right as rain? So, without any further ado, let's get to it. Computer's in the other room. I'll just have to, So we will start on your auntie's favourite website. We are on Facebook Marketplace, where dreams come to die. So let's have a look and see what we can get for 1,700 quid within an 85-mile radius of the glorious town where I live, which is up for interpretation. Okay, so I assume this is going to be a lot of 125 scooters, pit bikes, that sort of thing. But see if we can find something that would appeal to us, to the seasoned rider who has a full license. See what we've got. There's a wee CB250. I looked at this the other day. It's a project. It's pretty rough, so we wouldn't be wanting. We wouldn't even be entertaining that notion. Aha! Now this could be a possible thing that we look at. A 2000 GS 500e from Suzuki. Always read the description first, because there's going to be some. Hopefully we can glean some information. 2 keys for let's see, new tires front and rear, new chain and sprocket, no MOT but running well. Just put it through the MOT, lad, for the sake of what, 20 quid or whatever an MOT costs. Just do it, and then you can add another couple of hundred quid on the price tag. There you go. I've just taught you how capitalism works. Would make a great reliable winter commuter or first bike. I mean, he's not wrong there. Looking at it, it looks pretty clean. It looks pretty well looked after. What, 2,000? So she's 26-year-old now. 25,000 miles. I mean, like you said, yeah, for like a winter hack or for a first bike, it's pretty good. It looks pretty clean. Obviously, you'd give it a service, but you'd be doing that with anything that you buy off that you buy privately. It looks fairly stock as well, which appeals to a lot of people. A little bit of, you should just do with a bit of a clean and a bit of a tidy up. Yep, 25,000 miles. I think that's a pretty good start, to be fair, considering these. And look at that, all the service history. That's great. We appreciate that. Like, for all the guff and general gubbins that is usually hanging around Marketplace, that's a really good start, actually. So fair play. We're 1 for 1. Okay, there's the usual sort of carry-on pit bikes, 125s, quads. There's a jacket for anyone who's interested. A Suzuki Marauder. Well, now let's have a little look and see what's going on with this. I mean, the picture is absolutely fantastic. You can't argue. We can really see what's going on here. So, yeah, kudos for that. 2001 Suzuki Marauder 125, parked up for overwinter, and now it won't start. Could be a simple fix, and they're looking $1,000 for it. Like, how are you meant to glean anything from that? Like, all you can sort of see is that it's got 16,000 miles on it. For anyone taking pictures who's trying to sell stuff, please take good pictures. It doesn't take a lot of effort. I mean, we all know what the bike looks like from a distance. We want to see what it looks like up close. That, to me, as a consumer, would say that you're trying to hide something, which isn't good. So we're gonna just move past that, I reckon. Yeah, more quads and pit bikes, and nothing really that is of any great interest at the minute. A Yamasaki, because that's certainly a reliable and legitimate brand. Yep. Ah, here we go. Something that will appeal to a certain generation. And this bike is as old as I am, and it's probably in considerably better nick. So let's have a look at it. CBR 1000F, 1990, 21,000 miles, which is pretty much, considering it's what, 30 odd year old now. Good grief. Is it? Yeah. Well, I'm 35, so yeah. Same year as me. And as I said, it is in considerably better nick than I am. But she is a hefty creature. But that would appeal to somebody, I'm sure. I think it looks okay. It looks relatively stock. I assume this guy's been using it for touring, as there's a tank bag on the front. I'd say this would be a comfortable big tourer now, to be fair. But again, we can see it's got 21,000 miles on it, but you can't really see much else, really, like from a distance. You said there's a crack on the left side. Either I'm blind or they're just not showing it, but at least they've pointed it out in the description. That's something. But again, yeah, I mean, there's no way of telling the condition of the tires, of if there's any leaks or anything. So I think 1700's it's a bit steep. It wouldn't be for me personally, but it'll appeal to somebody. You could talk them down in that. I assume there's room for maneuverability, considering how long it's been up for. But yeah, please, if you're selling stuff, get into the weeds and the nitty gritty. We want to see. We want to see everything, especially if we're going to be parting with an amount of cash. You want to see things, because you don't want to go all the way down to Letterkenny, which is across the border, just to get there and find out that it's something that you don't want. So yeah, from what you can see, from what we can see, it's okay. It's okay. Quads, pit bikes, off-road stuff, which doesn't appeal. It doesn't appeal to me. I used to do motocross when I was a kid, and I would like to get back into it, but this isn't really that sort of thing. It's mainly for kids and stuff, I think. I don't know a lot about motocross bikes and all that sort of stuff. I just used to get on them and ride and fall off them a lot. Oh dear, that's certainly a choice you've made there, friend. We'll move quickly past the ratted phaser there, which is a shame because them phasers are decent little things. On the subject, see, there we go. On the subject, let's have a look at this one. That is a nice looking phaser, I reckon. 600, yeah, phaser 600. Good condition, couple of edge-related marks, as expected. Yeah, to be fair, it's 2001, so fair enough. That looks pretty clean to me. I mean, again, I'd like to get into the nitty-gritty of the thing and have a look and see how old the tires are, etc. 32,000 miles, that's, that's fine, that's okay for one of these things. They're bulletproof, they'll run till the end of time, and those Micron cans, they're worth a fair bit anyway, so you're making some money back in those alone. And if they're throwing a top box in, that's what, I don't know how much top boxes cost, a couple of £100 maybe, I don't know. And the brakes on these things, because my brother used to have a Thundercat back in the day, it had the same them blue spot calipers on them, and they will stop you on a dime. So providing they've been and this guy looks like, or lady, whomever it is, looks like they've looked after it, so you would assume that there's going to be no major issues. Again, give it a service, quick tidy up. Doesn't say, oh yep, it's MOT till August. Well, there you go. I'd say if you turned up with £1,300 cash in hand, I'd say they'd snap your hand off for it. So that is a good little find. That well done, Marketplace, for the first time in your life. Yeah, the pickings are pretty slim at this price point. To be fair, you're not going to find. Well, shut me up, because there's what, an SV 650, and there's a Bandit. Is it a 600 Bandit for £700? We'll take a look at both of those. Tell you what, we'll just cycle through here and then we'll go to the. If anything catches our eye, we'll have a look at that specifically. There's a Yamaha Dragster. No, thank you. Yeah, just a lot of £100. Right, hang on, that's gotta be. Well, we'll have a look at it, but I don't know what's going on there. A Triumph Trophy. We'll have a look at that. And that's it. Okay, right. So we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4 to look at here before we finish up with Marketplace. So let's have a look at this SV650. No MOT. God's sake, like, can't see it needing much. Well then, just put it through the MOT. It's not difficult. Starts and rides as it should. Okay. It looks okay from there, I guess. And okay, right. We're taking pictures in the dark now because that's useful and helpful. But again, that to me as a potential buyer makes me think, well, what are they trying to hide? But as far as SVs go, there's a reason why these things have the reputation that they do. Why, you know, they're so well thought of. They're the why a lot of people think of them as the perfect all-rounder. For a first bike, you can't really go wrong. Like, they're reliable. There's enough poke there to keep you interested. They're easy to work on. Parts are plentiful. They're bulletproof. They'll go to the end of time. I actually did my test on an SV650, 2015 one, and I can't imagine, apart from the styling, that there would have been too much of a difference between then and now. For 950 quid, like that is cheap for what it is. I'd say knock 100 quid off that for the lack of MOT. Just be cheeky. You never know. You might take it. But again, a more detailed description would be nice. But as I keep saying, you'd be servicing this anyway. You'd be changing the fluid. You'd be changing the oil anyway. But yeah, as a first bike or as a winter hack, you can't really go wrong with an SV650. They're fantastic little things. And this one, from what we can see, again, I emphasize what we can see, it looks pretty clean. So, but again, you'd have to go and have a look at it yourself, as you would be doing. But yeah, you can't go wrong with an SV650. We move on to the 97 Bandit. There's a 600 Bandit, parked up for a long time, will need recommissioned. Now, I know a lot of people love Bandits. They never really did it for me, personally. I know they were the sort of, I know that's a bit rich for me as someone who owns an MT-09, which is the modern day sort of hooligan machine, or one of them anyway, or the Bandit in the 90s was the equivalent. But no, they just never really did it for me, personally. But I know a lot of people love these things, and there's a big market for them, so if you could get one for 700 quid, that needs a bit of tarting up. Again, it doesn't say what it needs. Will need recommissioned. What specifically? I want to know. I want to know these things so I know what I'm getting into. So I know if I buy this thing and get it back and start working on it, I know what I'm working with and what sort of budget I have to deal with it. But it looks okay. It looks clean enough. Again, I emphasize, from what we can see, it looks clean enough. And these things are always, people seem to always want these things. They seem to hold their money fairly decently, I reckon, the thousands especially. But yeah, if you get this for 700 quid or a little less, it might be worth a punt, you know. Throw a couple of £100 into tarting up and giving her a service, and you've got yourself a pretty reasonable deal, I reckon. So yeah, it's okay. It's pretty good. Oh, this was the £100 Suzuki GS. That's not a thing. All items can be sold. All right, so it's for breaking. Right, well, that's a bugger all use to anyone. It's a guy who's selling a bunch of parts for. Is that a GS5? Is it a 500? Well, there you go. If you need parts for a GS500, there you are. This guy in Craigavon has a whole heap of them. And the final one that we're going to look at on Marketplace is this 93 Triumph Trophy for $14.50. 1993 with a video, which is nice. And that is a whole lot of bike. And it looks pretty clean, actually. For sale, has full MOT, right? Okay, bike's been well looked after. It has had a full service, new brake pads, front foot. See, this is what we want. Just tell us what it's had, you know? New brake pads, front and back, new fork seals, chain and sprocket, heated grips, forks, new fork seals, going 100%. Comes with travel boxes. This bike needs nothing, ready for the road. See, that's what we like. This is the sort of fellow that has this has been the pride and the joy, and you can imagine they've done some miles on this thing. A lot of touring, I imagine, has been done on this big thing. I'd say it's got a fair bit of poke still. Like, you know, I'd say, again, I'm a bit of a snob. It doesn't really appeal to me personally, but there's somebody out there who will absolutely love this thing, and well, that might be the sticking point for a lot of people. 70,000 miles. Now, I don't know how these early 90s Triumphs. I don't know about reliability or anything like that. But 70,000 miles seems a lot. It's a lot for anything. Tires look good. Chain looks... See, this is what we want. People taking pictures of the stuff you actually want to see. But you can't fault him. It does... He said it was well looked after. You can't fault him on that. The only thing is that mileage. But, you know, somebody might look past that and think, if you want a cheap tourer, I can't say that word with my accent, then you could probably do a lot worse, I reckon, and you're probably not going to find anything for this sort of money. So yeah, if you want to do a big European trip, it might be worth thinking about. So yeah, not bad at all. That's a decent haul for Facebook Marketplace for once. So there we go, something to think about. So we're going to move on now to Gumtree. Right, okay, so immediately once on Gumtree, you can't set a specific price, you have to set a maximum. So we've gone with £2,000 just for gits and shiggles, just to see what we have. We have 48 ads in my sort of area, plus 75 miles. All private sales, we don't want trade sales. So let's have a look. There's, is that that same phaser or is it a different one? Let's have a look here. It looks to be fairly similar, is it? It's in Moira, of all places. I don't know. What's the other one in... That looks... There we go. Yes, I think this is the same. I think this is the same one. Yeah, it is. So, oh, there we go. So yeah, that's just that 600 phaser we were looking at before, which we thought was a pretty decent deal. So, or is it? Yeah, it is. It is. I'm talking myself out of it. It is the same. So yeah, it's just a bit more of a close-up look at it. Okay, what have we got? A KTM RC125. Now, if I was like 17, 18, I think this would be the coolest thing in the world, because I am a bit of a KTM fanboy. Only one picture of it, that's extremely helpful, thanks mate. Full year's model document, everything here for it, 1,500 miles on it, or 15,000 miles, good grief, you put the bloody work in on that. Street sale cash and bank transfer, £2,000 they're looking for it. This little thing, they do look cool, to be fair. I think, you know, as I said, if I just got my CBT and was looking at something like this, that's the sort of thing I'd go for, because it just looks awesome. But £2,000, yeah, it's a bit more than what you'd be looking to spend on a 125, I reckon. Especially considering if you're planning on moving up. Like, no one buys 125s to keep. You know, they buy them because they're a necessity, I guess. And dropping £2,000 on it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But as I say, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I think it looks cool. I think we might be getting some of the same sort of issues here. Scooters. Little 125s, there's a Piaggio, another little Yamaha chopper thing, bobber, carry on, more scooters. Oh! And I say that not out of joy, a Yamaha diversion. So it's basically the XJ6 is what they turned into, isn't it? Or is what they always were? I can't remember with codes and stuff, someone will correct me. There's a V5. Take a smaller bike as part exchange. Bike is too heavy. I'd say it is. It's a 2000. She looks like a chunky beast, to be fair. Black Widow exhaust on it, so there you go. If that means anything to you. 1850 though. It's a. I bought a VFR 750 for £850 less than that. And they're not the prettiest things in the world. These and the GSX-F Suzukis are my two least. I think they're the ugliest things that have ever come into creation. But beauty is in the... Well, there's all the documentation, so that's good. Yeah, that's good. It's good to have all that stuff. It makes you feel a bit more confident as a buyer. Yeah, they're... oh God, they are... They're quite utilitarian, I think. But for somebody who's looking for something like this, it's absolutely perfect, and it would be ideal for what they want it for. But again, just with the age and the mileage, what's the mileage on it? Do we know? 20,000 miles. That's bugger all, considering the age of it. Yeah, it's I just feel like I'm repeating myself a bit here, but it's not really. It wouldn't be, again, not for me, but for a first bike, you can't really go wrong with a trusted Japanese brand. An Enfield 350 Bullet. Well, we have a new. This is quite interesting. For what, £1,100, 21,000 miles on it. Let's have a little look here. Royal Enfield. Royal Enfield's got a bit of a resurgence recently, hasn't it? A lot of we're selling a lot of stuff at the minute, if I remember correctly. I do like the sort of this sort of retro-y look. I mean, I wouldn't have it as my only bike. I'd maybe have it as like a Sunday, you know, just for tootling about on a Sunday around the countryside for an hour. Doesn't say 23,000 miles. It looks okay. Yeah, this will certainly appeal to a gentleman of a certain or a lady of a certain vintage, because they do look cool. It will be a conversation starter wherever you go. And yeah, like I say, Royal Enfield's. I don't know if this is what, 2006 for 1,100 quid. Yeah, I think that's pretty good for a little 350. I mean, it's a Royal Enfield, so it'll make 9 horsepower peak, but that's, a lot of people don't care about that. They just want something to enjoy, and this looks like something that you could absolutely do that with on a, like I say, on a Sunday, just pottering about. Yeah, I like that. That's a good, and it's a bit of an outlier. I like that. I like that a lot. A 250 Cagiva, Italian, and from the 80s, and carbureted. No, thank you. A Suzuki GS 500. I wonder is this the same fella who was selling all the parts? Right, what have we got here? Excellent condition. Sprockets and chain less than a year old. Tires like new, not scratch or fault. She's not wrong. It is clean. It is very, very clean. 25,000 miles. They've put the mileage in, absolutely, and it's very. It looks. Is it stock? Yeah, but stock as a rock, for the most part, I think, which matters to a lot of people. Yeah, this is fine. This is absolutely spot on. Is it stock? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I thought that headlight was like a logo or something, but no, that's it's in very good nick. Plenty of pictures. Yeah. £1,400. 2006. You could, you know, I'd say there's room for maneuver in there if they're looking to get rid of it. Yeah, that is a, and they've told you, you know, the information that you want to know, so you can't argue with that. Yeah, that is a good little pull, that, I reckon. Any more for any more? An S1000R for 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it really? I don't know. Sure, mate. Just put a price up, for God's sake. Like, you're looking to sell the thing. Like, people want to know what the price is. You're never going to sell it with this bloody camera. Make me an offer. It's like, shut up, man. No, the onus is on you. You're the one selling. Kawasaki Eliminator 99. No, thank you. More little 125s. Keyways, Benellis, and that's that. We've come to an end of the Gumtree stuff. Seemingly, I don't want to go any further away because if this was me and I was trying to buy something, I wouldn't go any further than 70 odd miles away. And we're, like I say, we're not going to we've already put the budget up beyond what we were looking to spend, and this is all the results that we got. So, yeah. Some interesting stuff there. Would I personally buy any of those? Probably not. But this was just an experiment, really, to see what was out there. And there's definitely more out there than I thought there would be, especially at this time of the year, for better money than what you usually find in this part of the world when folk are trying to sell stuff. But that'll do it for today. This is a lot of fun. We'll probably revisit this at some point because I just like looking at other people's stuff. There's probably Bike Trader and eBay and stuff, but God, we'll be here all day if we do that. So yeah, go and have a look. Just have a snook about and see what's there if you've got an hour free. It's you'll find yourself kind of falling down a rabbit hole a bit. Thank you very much for watching and for joining me on this this journey of being a cheap bastard. And we'll do it again soon sometime.